Alright, again, hello everyone and magandang hapon, maayong hapon and maanyag nga hapon sa inyong tanan. Welcome to Negros Occidental Language and Information Technology Center Gender and Development webinar on Safe Spaces Act Advocacy. So the whole month of March is declared as the National Women's Month celebration. This year's theme, we are women and everyone for gender equality and inclusive society, aims to highlight the empowerment of women as active contributors and claim holders of development. This is such a great way to celebrate the Women's Month. My name is Miss Red and I will be serving as your host for this event. We are immensely happy that you took time off your busy schedules. I know that you are all busy to join us today. Kindly post your greetings in the comment section. Let us know where you are joining us from. We would love to know. And let us begin this webinar and information session with a prayer, and that will be followed by the singing of the Philippine National Anthem and the Negros Hymn.
O labing makagagahom nga amay namon sa langit, mahinuklugon nga laon nga tagtugas ang langit, hangin, kalayo, tubig kag duta. Tanda ining imong timawa, kabay ining pag-ampo, magadulot sa amon sang kabuhi nga himaya. Salamat sa mga bugay nga imo ginpaambit sa amon. Salamat sa kabuhi nga ginadulot mo sa amon nga himpit. Salamat sa maayo nga panahon kag ilabi na gid sang imo katutom sa amon. Bendisyone ang imo katawhan. Bendisyone ang ila mga palangabuhian. Bendisyone ang mga panggas sa amon mga talamnan. Bendisyone ang ilang nga paglugayawan sa iban nga kapungsuran. Kabay makalabot sila nga walay sablag sa ila pagapadulungan. Kag ila binagid, bendisyone ining isla sang Negros nga amon natawhan. Kinahalad namon ang ining pag-ampo para sa imo kadayawan.
Noon pa man, malaki na ang naging bahagi ng mga kababaihan sa lipunang Pilipino. Kaisa sila sa marugdob na paghahangad ng kalayaan ng ating lahi. Kabilang sila sa paglinang ng ating makulay na sining at mayamang kultura. Kasapi sila sa pagtataguyod ng mga adhikain ng kapwa mamamayan at sa pagtugon sa mga pangangailangan ng lipunan. Katuwang sila sa pagtuklas sa mga larangan ng agham at medisina. Kapanalig sila sa pagpapairal ng batas, karapatan at katarungan para sa lahat. Kabahagi sila sa paglilingkod sa bayan at sa pagpapanatili ng demokrasyang Pilipino. Sa paglipas ng panahon, hindi nagmaliw ang kanilang pag-ibig sa ating inang bayan. Mga kababayan, ito ang alay ng mga kababaihang Pilipino para sa bayan. Tumayo po tayong lahat at sabay-sabay nating awitin ang pambansang awit ng Pilipinas.
Ayaw magiliw, pero sa silanganan, alam ng puso, sa dilim mo'y buhay. Lupang hiniram, dulatan ng magiging, sa manlulubi, di ko masisingil, sa naganak tulog sa silang at sa langit mong babang, naginanang tula at awit sa paglayang minamahal. Ang isang ng matawad mo'y talumpay na naglilingin, ang ituwing na araw na kailan pa may isa kita kapamilya. Pag-ulikay, pag-inain, pag-ibog na dapat mag-ari sa atin na probinsya. Magotod na Negrosano, isa katawungan, mapinalang tao. Sa punadang ko ang naisakripisyo sa kauswagan sa sikatao. Sa kasalan, agad wala may mabilis sa kalulong. Nanagantos na nagais na ako. Ang matutod na Negrosano, isa katawungan, mapinalang tao. Sa punadang ko ang naisakripisyo sa kauswagan sa sikatao. Ang matutod na Negrosano, sa katawungan, mapinalang tao. Sa punadang ko ang dati sakripisyo. Pagbulikan, paghigain, paghigugma, dapat maghari. Para sa kauswagan, sa sikatao.
Hello there again, and please be seated. I hope that you're all settled in nicely. We would like to acknowledge again the presence of our board member, Joey A. Pipilio, joining us virtually. And since BM is here, allow me as well to mention all right. I hope you could hear me again. I'm sorry about that one. All right. I guess I was able to reestablish my internet connection. Thank you very much, Ms. Demi, for acknowledging. So again, allow me to acknowledge our participants who are here with us virtually. Maayong hapon. We have participants coming from Bastos City College, Carlos Hilado Memorial State College, or University rather. Allow me as well to acknowledge participants from Atino. Okay, maayong hapon, and thank you for your attendance and your support with us. As well as allow me to acknowledge the trainers and staff of NOLITC who are also here with us, along with the trainees. NOLITC trainees, salamat, kag keep on commenting your names and your location in the comment section so that we could acknowledge you virtually. We also have here our participants from Pulupandan. Hello there, maayong hapon. As well as our participants from Binalbagan. Yes, thank you. We also have here participants coming from Talisay City. Wow, from Talisay. And also from Victoria City. Okay, so earlier I was also able to see a participant coming from Bacolod City. So thank you. If you are coming from barangay, a specific barangay in Bacolod City, so kindly do specify the name of your barangay, because we have here the office of Councilor Saliflor joining with us, so that they will also to let them know as well that you are here with us in this info session. So the Learning Center is one of the priority programs of Governor Eugenio Jose Bong Lacson under his 7-point priority agenda, Avance Negrense. NOLITC also offers various scholarships for our Training for Work scholarship program, TESDA certified courses, and other special programs with support of our provincial gender and development focal point system. If you want to know more about our scholarship opportunities, or if you would like to avail of our scholarship opportunities, kindly visit our website. That's www.nolitc.gov, or you can also message us on our Facebook account. These webinars are absolutely free. To join, all you need to do is to register once, and you can now have access to the entire gender and development webinars. Let me remind you to fill out the online attendance right now. Okay, so we will pin the link to our attendance in the comment section, or you may also scan a QR code that is flashed on your screen. The link to the online attendance can be found in the comment section. So you can just click the link so that you can write your attendance. That will be part or one of the requirements for you to be able to get the certificate of this webinar. We will not be able to catch up with all of your comments. So if you have any questions, please post them in the comment section. We will read that one, or you may also raise your virtual hand later. Again, kindly utilize the chat box if you have any questions or any clarifications. We will bring them up towards the end of the presentation. You will also be receiving a certificate for attending this webinar online. You only need to accomplish the online evaluation of the webinar. Again, yes, that will be flashed on your screen, or you can also find the link in the comment section. We hope that you are all catching up with me with some of our opening reminders. If you have not seen our previous posts yet, you can always check out our social media accounts. Please follow us on Facebook and subscribe to our YouTube channel. And to kick off today's webinar, let us have the leader who has a vision and knows how to turn her ideas into real-life success stories. Our vocational school administrator and NOLITC Tech for Ed Center manager. Ladies and gentlemen, let's give a virtual round of applause to Dr. Maria Cristina Orbicido.
Thank you, Ms. Red. Good afternoon, everyone. Mayong hapon sa Okay, so happy Women's Month sa tanan naton nga participants. Salamat gid sa inyo pag-upod sa sining webinar. This is part of our gender equality advocacy, and we are hosting this webinar to campaign for the Safe Spaces Act. I would like to acknowledge the presence of Board Member Juvie Pipilio and recognize the participation of all barangay officials in this webinar. Salamat. Board Juvie for helping us organize this webinar. And also thank you to all participants from Bacolod City and from Atino, and of course, all the students of NOLITC and staff. Thank you for joining us this afternoon. So Negros Occidental, under the leadership of Governor Eugenio Sebong Lacson, is the first province in the country that has approved this landmark ordinance on safe spaces, and this is a localized version of Republic Act 11313, or the Bawal Bastos law. The passage of this local ordinance to us is a milestone, as it has expanded the scope of our campaign for gender equality and gender advancement in the province. And with this ordinance, it has also strengthened the implementation of the Safe Spaces Act in our province. And this afternoon, we have invited you as our stakeholders to help us campaign, disseminate this information. And we will have an expert speaker this afternoon who will walk us through the ordinance, the coverage of the law, and also the salient points of the law, which allows us to understand that there are additional cases or additional areas where that's already covered by the law. So before, ang covered lang sa sexual harassment law is workspaces, workplaces, and educational institutions. Now, kadamo na sang gin-add nga mga sectors or places na makonsider pwede matabo ang harassment. So I urge you to listen and collaborate with our speaker this afternoon so that kamuman mangin champion sang sining advocacy. And this is going to be a year-round information campaign we'll be doing online so that we can help the province disseminate this information, at the same time empower sa ato ng mga implementers on how are they going to make this as a reference in implementing the Safe Spaces Act or the Bawal Bastos Law. Again, mayong hapon, salamat sa inyong presensya.
Thank you very much, Dr. Tina. All right, let us give a big hand to our vocational school administrator. Right. Additionally, allow me also to acknowledge some more of our participants virtually. We have here the OFW Association. I'm sorry, there is no specific LGU, but hello sa mga good afternoon and thank you for joining us from the OFW Association in Negros Occidental. We also have here LGUs and barangays coming from Cadiz City. Yes, Cadiz City. And we also have here from TESDA. And I have seen here earlier from Negros or Northern Negros State College of Science and Technology, and from the office of BM Jovi Pipilio Liga ng mga Barangay, represented by Sir Crisanto Hamero. Right, keep your comments and your greetings coming in the comment section, and later on, we will have another chance, or we'll take another chance to comment or to make a shout out of your different sectors and barangays. I guess you are now super duper excited to learn more about the Safe Spaces Act or the Bawal Bastos Law, because this is going to be very relevant not only for women but also for everyone. So this is our province and the city's campaign to make our community and our province a safe space for everyone. Okay, so additionally, we also have here barangays or participants from Talisay City and Pulupandan. Hello there and thank you. So now we will have the expert speaker of our info session for this afternoon. Allow me to introduce her to you. So she is such an amazing woman, and always serving the community and society. You know, in spite of her very busy schedule, still she takes time to take care of everybody. So I think she's not only amazing, but she is also very nurturing. Our expert speaker holds an MA degree in Women and Development from the University of the Philippines in Diliman. She is the Advocacy Officer of the Women Engaged in Action on UN Security Council Resolution 1325 for its Women's Empowerment for Leadership and Development and Peace in Bansang Moro project. She is a consultant for several projects and peace projects of various institutions, such as the UP Center for Women and Gender Studies, UN Women and Oxfam Philippines, to mention just a few. Our speaker is the co-founder of the Young Feminist Collective and second-generation member of Filipina, the country's oldest organization. She is also a professional fellow for civic engagement of the Young Southeast Asian Leadership Initiative, sponsored by the U.S. State Department and the HARP-CIVIC Asian Program in Women's Leadership. These are really prestigious institutions. Okay, she has been working in the field of civic engagement and women and youth activism for the past 5 years. She co-authored the following publications, such as the Philippine NGO Beijing Class 25 Report Chapter on Women and Armed Conflict, Women and the Duterte Anti-Drug Carnage. Currently, she serves as the Chief of Staff in the Office of Councilor Celia Flor, Bacolod City. Ladies and gentlemen, let us give a virtual reaction and a big round of applause to our expert speaker for today, Ms. Demi Castro.
Hi everyone, good afternoon. Bation ko. Can I get a thumbs up? Or okay. Thank you so much, Red, for that grabe introduction, no? Grabe gito na build up. Anyway, again, thank you, NOLITC, for always inviting me and keeping me on top of your mind, Gidya, when it comes to safe spaces and our women's advocacy. I feel flattered actually. So, like what Red said, no, that ang Safe Spaces Act or Safe Spaces Ordinance, hindi lang na siya pang babae. Kay kagina samtang gawit may nabatian tato nga pang babae man lang na. Pero sa tuod lang, this is for everyone, gid no? Safe spaces for all, regardless of their gender, laki, bayi, kung ano man ang imo gina-identify as. We have a comprehensive law now that will protect you. So I'm very happy that we have participants from all over the province. Kag syempre ginibitaran taman ang mga taga Bacolod kay subong gasugod na gid no ang partnerships ng Bacolod kag province. And I'm very happy about that. Syempre kay sama lang ta actually ka lugar gid diin gagiho ang mga tawo no. Kailangan maskin diin magkadto may ara gid sang safe space para sa ila. Just to let you know, Doc Tina said that Negros Occidental is the first province to have very own safe spaces ordinance. We recently passed in Bacolod a safe spaces ordinance as well, and I think we are the first city in Negros to pass. So since we have this orientation and we have representatives from Cadiz, Pulupandan, Talisay, Victorias, etc. I hope that if wala di ang inyo nga mga local legislators, we can lobby this to them. Kay actually mandate siya sang RA 11313 that local LGUs will have their own version of this national law. And basi later on, ma-share ko sa inyo kung ano ginubra namon sa version sang Bacolod nga wala naman niya sa national law kag sa version sa province. Okay. So thank you very much. Just to start, just to give you a short teaser, no, I will share a video. Quezon City is the first city even before the Nationalia passed the law. Ang Quezon City nagsugod na gid niya may ara ni sila sa ilang own ordinance. So pwede gid ya ka initiative depende gid sa will sang leadership, no. So I'll share with you what they have, what they did.
As the Bawal Bastos bill lapses into law, we zero in on Quezon City's experience in implementing their anti-catcalling ordinance. Madali lang ba ito ipatupad? At kamusta naman ang karanasan ng mga biktima? Shaila Garde reports.
It made me feel unsafe. I felt na na-violate yung personal space ko.
Ay, ganda. Miss pahipo nga. Miss pahawak nga. I saw a person dun sa may passenger seat. Tapos nakatingin sa akin, nakasmile. Tapos I felt so uncomfortable.
For many of us, especially women, hindi na bago ang maranasan natin masipulan o magbastos sa kalye. Pero good news, dahil ngayon ang acts of street harassment, punishable na under the Safe Spaces Act o Bawal Bastos Law.
Depending on the gravity of the offense, iba-iba ang penalty sa mapapatunayang lumabag sa batas na ito. Mula sa community service, pag-attend ng gender sensitivity seminar, multa, o pagkakakulong. Para sa maraming nakaka-experience nito halos araw-araw, it's about time.
Nasa jeep ako, yung guy, unti-unti, lumalapit na siya sa akin hanggang sa na-feel ko na yung paghibo niya sa akin. And then, nandun na rin yung kaba. After na nagpara ako, and then, bumaba na ako kagad.
So nagpara ka kahit wala ka pa sa destination?
Oo.
For years, kinakatcall ako ng kapitbahay namin mismo. Tuwing dadaan ako dun sa area nila, since lagi siya nag-hi miss, ang ganda mo naman. Medyo creepy na siya. Got to the point na nakakatakot na siya. I told that to my mom, and then she said na samahan niya ako sa barangay station. Now that it's a law, I feel safer and I feel more secured na kaya ko nang malalakad sa streets na hindi ko na feel na walang mangyayari kapag may reklamo ako.
While the Safe Spaces Act only lapsed into law this April, sa Quezon City, 2016 pa umiiral ang kapareho nitong ordinansa, the Anti-Catcalling Ordinance, whose main proponent is Councilor Mayen Huico.
Base sa data, napakaraming nahaharas sa mga kabataan. I think it's already at 89% from mga kababaihan na 18 to 24 years old. And as a woman, I've also been a victim more than times that I could actually even recall. na nakaranas din ng harassment. Napakarami ng nasampulan ng batas na ito.
Positibong kinilala ng call center agent ang police accusing ng bastos umano sa kanya noong November 2 ng gabi sa Katipunan Avenue Extension sa Quezon City.
At dahil nga sa pioneering ordinance na ito ng Quezon City, the victim was able to make a difference in this milestone case.
When I was walking, I was alone and there's no around me, no lights even. Biglang may dumating na police car. Since naglalakad din ako, edi gumagalaw din siya. Tapos bumaba yung window. Tapos I kept walking for a little more. Pero hindi tumigil yung police car. I heard someone whistle na talaga. And that's what made me stop actually.
From 2016 until ngayon pong 2019, kasi po sa aming statistic, 18 cases ng catcalling. Pag alam nilang sila ay nagkaroon ng ganyang karanasan, mag-report sa police. Hindi ibig sabihin agad-agad mahuli. Ang importante yung report. Kamalay natin in the future, ma-identify magkasalubong. So, pwede pong balikan ang record sa PNP.
Ngayong applicable na rin ito sa buong Pilipinas, sino mang victim ng street harassment na kadalasan ay mga babae at LGBT ay may magagawa ng aksyon.
Masaya ako kasi here in Quezon City, we were the first to pass this ordinance. Tapos ngayon, isa na siyang ganap na batas sa Republika ng Pilipinas.
Kasi ngayon, we should be more open about this, diba? We should be more aware na hindi na dahil sa suot yan. It's a different time already.
Through this law, naway mas mabigyan ng justice ang victims of harassment at magkaroon ng more awareness tungkol sa importansya ng gender equality at respeto. I'm Shai Lagarde and I stand for truth.
Okay, there you have it. Nakita ta sa QC Pioneer gid sila, and para siguro sa iban do ka normal occurrence lang nino nga galakat-lakat ka tapos sitsitan ka, or masking iban maano gani mambal sila nga wala lang tuya, wala man ko intention, but later on you will see kung nga para sa iban hindi sila komportable nga ginaamo ni, and we have a law to protect them against that. So okay, let me just share my. Okay, so what is the Act? The provincial ordinance. So please mute our participants, those who are still unmuted, so that mabatian nyo ko, no? And later on, we will have a chance to talk more if you have some insights that you want to share or also ask. Okay, so as you've seen in the video, ang sexual harassment, adlaw-adlaw, kakatabo ni siya. From walking to point A to point B, kadto ka sa opisina, kadto ka sa eskwelahan, kung sa iban pa, gasakay ka sa bus, gasakay ka sa jeep. Unfortunately, very normal, like I said, normal occurrence na siya, pero violation siya actually sa aton mga human rights, no? Especially sa mga kababaihan, kag mga members ng LGBTQ. According to data, 3 in 5 women have experienced sexual harassment at least once in their lifetime. Kag masubo man, pero 88% sang mga kababaihan nga ni 18 to 24 naka-experience na sang sexual harassment at least once sa lifetime nato, no? 88%. Okay, so as na-mention man sa video, no matter anong bayo mo, maski madri gani, maski kis a baby pa, no? Bata, children, toddlers, maski ang mga Muslim ta nga naka hijab, gaka harass man sila. So I'm so sorry for the sa ating boss, no? Dali lang. Okay, so ang RA 11313 na-mention man ni Doc Tina Kagina nga ang gisuguran giniya ang Anti-Sexual Harassment Act 7877 sang 1995 pa. Sang time nga to, ang law nagahambal nga kung employer ka lang or person of authority, amo na iya nga pwede mo siya makasuhan ang boss mo. So, ikaw as empleyado, makasuhan mo ang may person in authority. Now, anyone can be an offender. Kung teacher man or student, or hindi ka mo maupod sa obrahan, pwede mo gid siya makasuhan. So, makita taman on the ground ng reality nga maski ang estudyante maharas ni man iya teacher, maski ang empleyado maharas man niya iya boss. So, ginaano tani nga syempre 1995 pa, no, ga-evolve gid man ang times, and amo ni ang reality sa ground. Ang difference, ari pang ibanta nga ang sa 1995 is workplace kag educational institution lang. ulubrahan, eskwelahan. Pero sa RA 11313 tanan pwede, jeep, maski online pwede, workplace kag pati eskwelahan gyapon. Kag victims, ang women and girls lang ni siya actually sa anti-sexual harassment. Pero now ano tagid nga tanan pwede, maskin laki, bayi, LGBTQ, pwede ka maging biktima sang sexual harassment. So it doesn't matter. Amo na nga ang safe spaces nga orientation tani para gid ni sa tanan, para kita kabaluman kita magpangaman kag maprotektahan taman naton kaugalingon kag ang aton community. As mentioned, ang offender ta sa 1995, persons in authority lang, kag teachers, employers, subong maskin sino, pwede na maging offender. Sa offense ta, employer to employee, teacher to student, subong niya, teacher, school staff to student, peer to peer, kag student to student. So any person can be an offender and can be the victim. Penalties ta sing una, fine lang kag imprisonment. Subong niya may community service na ta, gender sensitivity seminar kag imprisonment. Revocation of driver's license kag franchise para sa mga operators ng jeep. So anong gina-cover sang Safe Spaces Act, no? So as I said, this is a comprehensive law na gidya, covers all forms of gender-based sexual harassment. Maski ma-online man na, offline, sa street, public spaces, kung diin ka man. Public spaces doesn't mean publicly government-owned lang, no? Pati ang mga privately owned, like sinihan, malls, etc. Pwede na gid. Streets, alleys, government offices, transportation terminals, etc. Public washrooms, anywhere that you are, as much as possible, gusto gid naton nga tanan nga kadtuan mo ay maging safe space para sa imo. So ano ni ginahambal ta nga acts of gender-based sexual harassment, no? Sexist remarks, for example, wolf whistling, catcalling, ang balik to balaga panihol, galakat ka lang mga good morning miss, mga muna kiss up. Ang iban guro okay lang na kay wala gid man bala intention, pero para sa iban nakulbaan sila. Depende ginaan sa tawo kung paano ya batuno na bala nga comment. So ang pinaka-safe na lang is kung hindi ka mo close, kung hindi mo kilala or what, hindi ka na lang gid mag-komentar, no? Kaya ang iban nga kababaihan taya nakulbaan na nga amo nang ila ginatubang sa adlaw-adlaw. Nga naman ta homophobic remarks, ang mga ginagamit balang imo nga gender orientation as an insulto nga duka ay kay agi man na siya, kay amo ni siya, kay amo ni. Ang misogynistic remarks ta, for example, maga-report siya sa police, tas ang balon siya sa police nga kay amo man nabing bayo mo, amo na rape ka or amo na nga na-harass ka. That is misogynistic remark, no? And transphobic remarks as well, mga insulto, mga slurs or statements na naga-express ang hate towards a person. May ara pagid ta persistent uninvited comments or gestures, or ara ba lang sagay pangayo isang number mo, pangayo isang address mo, etc. Mga jokes, mga ga-joke lang kuno. Pwede na gina siya, may ara pagid ta public masturbation, flashing of private parts. Sa Manila, ang damo-damo gini cases, no? I'm sure diri man sa Negros, kag ang iban wala naga-report kay para sa ila kung report sila do wala bala gina-take sang seriously. Subong niya dapat gina-take ni siya seriously kay this is a big problem, gid, no? And it's a community problem. May stalking man ta, yan, basta anything non-consensual. So careful lang ta, ba sila nga ay hindi nagali pwede ka pamugno, hindi nagali pwede ka joke lang. Depende gid na iya sa pag-accept or sa pag-perceive sang tawo nga hambalan mo. So did the Safe Spaces Act repeal ang anti-sexual harassment? Magambal ka repeal, dugin-dula niya bala? The answer is no. Ang anti-sexual harassment, ara man na siya gyapon, pero may ara forms sang sexual harassment na punishable lang siya sa both safe spaces and anti-sexual harassment or sa isa lang. Later on, we will see. Okay. For example, for example, okay. Ang isa ka teacher nagamake siya sang unwanted, uninvited demands sa iya student, sexual favors. Ang mapasaron ta ka basta amo niyo pwede ni siya both under Safe Spaces Act kag Anti-Sexual Harassment. Kay one, ang teacher mo authority, 'di ba? Tapos ginagamit niya ang iya power to control the victim. So both pwede siya anti-sexual harassment kag Safe Spaces Act. So both count. So kung kasuhan siya, duwa gid ya ka punishment ang iya. So for example, ang ano naman niya, if hindi siya unwanted or uninvited, for example, ginusto sang estudyante, may cases gid man nga amo na nga do may relationship sila ya, pwede siya gyapon sa Anti-Sexual Harassment Act kay ang lack of consent hindi siya element sang sexual harassment sa Anti-Sexual Harassment Act. Ga-make sense man. Pwede ka mag-comment sa comment section kung hindi clear, no? Pero again, for example, may cases na nga ang teacher kag student may relationship gid man sila pero dapat hindi na that is not allowed. Pwede gid makasuhan ang teacher sang Anti-Sexual Harassment Act regardless kung may relationship sila or wala. Okay, for example, ang unwanted kag uninvited demands hindi halin sa teacher but halin sa fellow student, so student to student, can be punished under the Safe Spaces Act kay hindi sila ya authority. Student to student, pwede gyapon makasuhan. Kag, if ang student man maharas ang iya teacher, pwede siya makasuhan under Safe Spaces Act. So, anong penalties for gender-based sexual harassment sa public spaces? Kung verbal, amo tong hambal kagina sang police to, no? If ma-report ka, pwede lang gid siya i-report for the record. Kung hindi man siya madakpan dayon, at least may record siya kay mairara ta first, second, kag third offense. So ang verbal mo ya may 12 hours ka nga community service, may gender sensitivity training, kag 1,000 nga fine. Kung ara siya sa record kag ginliwat ya pagid kay wala gid siya nagnuto, may imprisonment kita sang 6 to 10 days or 3,000 nga fine. Ang third, kay wala gid tiga-tiga gid sa iya, no? Wala gid nag-learn, may 10,000 ka na fine kag imprisonment of 11 to 30 days kung verbal. For demonstrated, ang mga acts to bala like public masturbation, ang pangihipo, kag physical yung acts, medyo mataas-taas ni siya, no? 12 hours of community service, inclusive sang GST, kag 10,000 nga fine. Kag ang second offense mo is imprisonment of 11 to 30 days or 1 month, kag 15,000 nga fine. Ang third offense mo, gataas, 20,000 fine, and 1 month and 1 day to 9 months. Okay, so anong penalties sa iban? Okay, stalking, amo man ni siya. Same lang. Mas taas-taas ni siya. So, mga stalking, kag physical advances, touching, pinching, etc., 30,000 GST. Second offense, 50,000. Kag ang third offense nyo is 100,000. So, ang ila ganit tagline sa QC, no? Mahal mambastos sa QC. Although sang time nga to hindi pa amo ni ang punishment kag sa LGUs medyo gamay-gamay lang ang allowed nga penalties, pero in the works gid ya work gid yang ila system kag kung magreklamo may gabayad gid ya sang fines kag penalties. Okay. So ang mga LGUs can come up with ordinances. Actually later on you will see nga ang Safe Spaces Act or ang 11313 ga-mandate gid ya sang LGUs to create their own ordinances. So may ara ta additional penalties sa province karon nga version makita nyo cancellation of license sang driver kung sa jeep or sa PUV, pati suspension or revocation sang franchise. So, ang aton mga operators, may ara man sila sang responsibility nga i-orient ang ila mga drivers or maskin sila man kay maskin hindi silang nag-obra, pwede gid ma-suspend or ma-revoke ang ila franchise kung ang driver nila ang perpetrator. Okay, so may arita di sa national law, public water transport, air carrier, balik ka general lang sang mga vehicles nga ginhambal later on sa province kag sa Bacolod City nagdugang sa mga ari di saton sa local, no, like habal-habal, tricycle, tricycad, gindugang na. Online, which is very rampant man kay tungod sa pandemic, ang aton bag-o nga public space is ang digital space na. No, dira na tagaulag adlaw-adlaw ga online gid kita ga cellphone ga laptop. So may ara man GBOSH, ginatawag GBOSH, online sexual harassment, may threats, ang mga ga-message sa inyo, mga ga post pagid sa mga kung ano-ano, gina-edit inyo photos or gina-leak inyo photos, pwede gini siya makasuhan under the Safe Spaces Act, no? So, any invasion of victims' privacy, kung may stalking nga in person, may cyber stalking ka man nga ginatawag. Excuse me. Incessant messaging, magamba ka incessant do, wala gid gauntat. Tapos uploading and sharing without consent of the victim any form of media. So very careful gid ta mag-picture tana bala. For example, may activity ang barangay or LGU or ang school, magpicture ka mo, dapat mangkuton yung gid actually ang tao kung okay lang magpicture or okay lang i-post ko ni. Kailangan may consent gid siya kay okay lang kung okay sa iya, pero kung hindi siya gali iya gusto nga picturean, hindi gina pwede. Kag kung gusto ya kamo makasuhan, pwede ya gid kamo kasuhan under the Safe Spaces Act, no? Hindi lang ni siya any form of media ni siya that contains photos, voice, or video, and any unauthorized recording of victims' photos and information online. Niara man ta impersonating of identities or ang mga poster ni balang nga ginatawag, ginagamit ilang ngalan, kuno abi sila na. Kag, well, we also have filing false abuse reports to online platforms. So, mga online. So, anong difference ang cyberstalking kag stalking? Like I mentioned, cyberstalking ya online, electronic medium, kag online communication. And, ayan. Okay. So, ang online ta, may ara man siya different set of penalties. So, ang penalty ta for online sexual harassment is 6 months and 1 day to 2 years and 4 months. Kag a fine not less than 100,000 pesos and not more than 500,000 pesos at the discretion of the court. So, ang mga desisyon ni sa aton penalties is ang court. So, ang para sa aton mga victim survivors, like ang hambal to sa police takagina, hindi man siya dakop gid dayon, but as long as ma-record ta siya, nami gid tani kung okay sa victim survivor nga ma-report. Okay. For example, ang gahara sa inyo online is a foreigner or ang alien gani. Nga ari sa Pilipinas, pwede gid sila ma-deport after serving their sentence and payment of fines. So where can a victim file a complaint, no? So they can file to NBI, Cybercrime Division National paniha, PNP, Anti-Cybercrime Group, kag DOJ, Office of Cybercrime. This is for online sexual harassment. Kung natabo ni sinyo, pwede ko man ni ma-share ang PowerPoint later on, kag ma-share sang NOLITC sa aton participants, no, para mabalikan nyo. Ano ang obrahon kung ginaharas ka online? First, take note of the URL or ang sa babaw na balang www.facebook.com/blah blah blah. Take note of that or i-copy mo or i-print mo para may ara kagidyasang hard copy. Kay kisa ang mga perpetrators na i-delete na nila or nakadula siya, at least may ara ka proof gihapon. Tapos pwede mo makontak ang Anti-Cybercrime Group ka PNP. May complaint desk sila, ara ang website acg.pnp.gov.ph, i-complaint. Again, this is for a national scope, no? Medyo damo ni nga reklamo ila gakabaton, kag kung may ara man lang ta local, why not sa local na lang, kag mas dasig ang action, hopefully. Ayan. Pwede ko man ni ma-share sa inyo. This is again national numbers, mas Manila NCR based ni. Okay. I already shared this, no? Mas dako ang penalties kung ang perpetrator mo, drivers ng PUV, taxi, tricycles, or ang TNVS nila, Grab, Angkas, etc. Kag ang offended party is a passenger. Kung ang offended party is minor, senior citizen, PWD, or breastfeeding mother, mas taas pagid ang penalties. Kag if may mental condition, ara man. If perpetrator is member of PNP, AFP, anyone in uniform, mas taas man ang iya penalties. Kag, if the act takes place in the premises of a government agency, for example, sa City Hall, sa Capitol, sa diin pa da nga government agencies offering frontline services to the public, kag ang perpetrator mo, government employee, mas taas man ang penalties. Okay, so gender-based sexual harassment in the workplace, bali sa national law, may specific sila nga ginbutang kung ano ang difference, kung may difference in penalties. So sa workplace naman, kung diin taga obra, no, may ka any act or series of acts involving unwelcome sexual advances, requests, or demands for sexual favors, especially isang boss, or anything sa employment, bala nga i-promote ka, basta amo ni, or hatag ko ni si mo bonus, basta amo ni. So may mga amo na nga katabo. Ayan. May ta duties ang employers ta, no? Kung may mag-file, pwede gid. May dapat cody ang kada agency, kag kailangan ang employers ta wala pa may natabo ma-disseminate na nila ang copies ang act nga ni and post in a conspicuous place, meaning makita sang tanan, kag kailangan ma-provide man sila measures to prevent gender-based sexual harassment sa ilang nga workplace. Kag pwede man sila ka-conduct sining mga seminars para isang ginaubra ta subong. So, hindi lang ni duties ang government agencies, hindi lang duties ang mga eskwelahan, but also private employers, kay covered man sila sa aton national law. Dupliman, okay. Dapat may mga cody sila, like I said, mga internal mechanism or committee. Tapos, may representative ang management, employees, etc. Okay, I'll just move to our... Ayan, kay damo di schools, no? I'm so happy nga damo nag-attend nga mga education and training institutions kay syempre din ga ano aton mga usual mga kabataan ara da sa schools. So dapat all schools, whether public or private, may ara sila officer in charge to receive complaints or an anti-sexual harassment desk, no? Dapat provided with a gender-sensitive environment. Kag sa schools, aring importante, even if an individual does not want to file a complaint, kasi syempre hindi mo man mapilit, the school should take an action, gyapon. Kay kabalo na sila nga unsafe na ang environment. So, even if an individual does not want to file a complaint, the school should take an action on behalf of the student or faculty member and the school authorities. Basta kabalo na sila gani, whether or not gusto magkaso, kailangan may ubrahon gid sila. They should take appropriate steps to resolve the situation. Okay, so ayan, they must take immediate action to eliminate the same acts and prevent the recurrence. Okay, so school heads, kung may di participants, you should disseminate a copy of this act. This is available online, no? You can just search and print. Better to have IEC materials about the Safe Spaces Act. And you should provide measures to prevent GBSH like information campaigns, seminars such as this, tapos may CODI man kamo. Sa CODI, dapat represented man ang administration, trainers, instructors, etc. And as much as possible, designate a woman as its head and not less than half of its members should be women. Like we mentioned, the probability nga ang bayi gidi ang kakabiktima, no? And they are more comfortable talking to women. That's why our CODI members should be majority composed of women. Okay. So may steps man ta, you should protect the victim or the complainant from retaliation, nga balusan siya, ang confidentiality ta, hindi taman pagpabalo sa tanan, hindi pag-imarites, no, kung mag-report gani, kung may mag-report sa aton. May ara man ang national law provided for restraining orders, kag psychological or counseling services should be available tani. They can go to an LGU and the DSWD in coordination with the DOH. Kay may ara naman ta Philippine Mental Health Law. If ever any charges should be borne by the perpetrator, meaning siya ang mabayad, ang aton nga perpetrator ang mabayad para sa mental health treatment sang aton victims. Okay. Now, let's go to the highlights. Highlights na lang nino sang Safe Spaces Ordinance of Negros Occidental. Again, as Doc Tina mentioned earlier, Congratulations to Negros Occidental as it is the first province to localize RA 11313 or the Safe Spaces Act. Naghambal ka gani localize tungod kabalo ang nasyonal tanga government nga ang Pilipinas archipelago no kag kada syudad, kada munisipyo lainay man taya mga sitwasyon sa community. Because of that, ginagaan ta tsansa ang local tayo nga communities nga sa batas based on the needs of their community. Ayan. So nagdugang definitions of safe spaces ang aton province, no? Nag-expand sila, gindugang nila ang hospitals, clinics, medical therapy centers, churches, chapels, and other places of worship. Although kay generic lang to ang sa national, mas nami gid nga na-specify sa local ordinance ta condominiums, apartments, dormitories, and boarding houses. Ang addition taman sang tricycad, mention ko kagina, habal-habal, private carpool app-based transport, may bangkas ta, kay may arata mga marine areas, taya diri mga bangka nga ginagamit, rafts, boats, diri sa Negros, no, kay lain-lain man ang kada syudad kag munisipyo. May rural areas, syempre agricultural areas, fields, ancestral domains, sang aton mga IPs, maskin diin. So, maskin diin man kagina do mga buildings lang to, do mga urban, lang, no? Subong niya dapat covered gid. Kay kabalo ang aton nga provincial government nga ang Negros, may mga areas nga amuni nga kailangan maprotektahan taman ang mga tawo. Ang definition sang workplace, gindugangan Manila, hindi lang siya office, hindi lang opisina, kay kabaluta nga ang tawo ga-work hindi lang yan sa office, no? May ara man ta nga ga-work sila under the employ of others, nga ara sila sa warehouse or sa other places. So even ang mga fishermen, ang fisher folk ang aton farmers, they also have workplaces of their own. Ang sa PUVs or sa public utility vehicles mga habal-habal, tricycle, jeep, modern jeep, minibus, kung ano man na, that carry passenger or goods for compensation, added na di sila. Maski ang hindi covered sa LTFRB, no? So, ang mga tricycle nga gakoloro, maski hindi sila registered, they are considered covered na di sila. So, kung may matabo man sa imo nga harassment under this, may ara gid sila gyapon sang penalties ta. So, drivers shall not be allowed to operate habal-habal or kung ano man na nga vehicle. And hindi sila pwede ka for hire or for payment. So, mawadaan gid siya sang palangabuhian for 5 days. Second offense 15 days. And then third offense, 30 days. Okay. So, ang province of Negros Occidental may ara sang PCAT-VAUSI or the Provincial Council for Anti-Trafficking and Violence Against Women and Children nga maga-implement sang RA 11313. So may ara kita sang information dissemination sang ordinance, which is what NOLITC is doing, no? Been doing for years. This is actually not the first time that I talked about the Safe Spaces Act and the Safe Spaces Ordinance through this medium sang NOLITC. So thank you very much NOLITC sa padayon nyo nga pag-information dissemination sini nga ordinance kag sini nga act, no? Ensure component cities and municipalities to comply with RA 11313. So actually, ang aton probinsya, kailangan i-push niya gid ang mga LGUs to have their own ordinance, to adapt the provincial ordinance or to add some provisions nga wala kag feeling nila mas maka-apply sa ila LGUs. Conduct related awareness campaigns such as this. Conduct capacity building for all people in charge and all other implementing bodies. Kag ensure setting up of maintenance of functional CCTV cameras. I know sa Bacolod may ara na kami mga CCTV cameras na kag may monitor man na. So I'm not sure sa other LGUs. But you should have under this ordinance of the province. Okay, so actually under this ordinance, it is all cities and municipalities of Negros should have localized this and applied this ordinance within 60 days of its effectivity. I think napasar ni 2020, if I'm not mistaken, or 20, recent man lang, pero dupila naman kay years, no, after the national law. So, kailangan ang aton mga cities and municipalities should be proactive in localizing this, no? Disseminate in conspicuous places, official websites, social media, online, and roll out information campaigns. Yeah. So I think NOLITC is doing this as the arm of the province. Sila ni ang ubras ang IECs, no? Ang PIO, PAGED, etc. Mga information campaigns. So the province should establish an anti-sexual harassment desk and hotline. Kamo, mga local LGUs nga gapamati subong should have an ASH desk and hotline at the city or municipal hall for receiving and responding to calls, no? And expediting the receipt and processing of complaints and reports. So, kung wala pa, pwede ka mo ka-lobby sa inyong respective LGUs na, excuse me, under sa safe spaces ordinance ng province, dapat may amutani, dapat may working na tanga hotline kag desk. And also designate traffic enforcers and local law enforcement units to be ASH enforcers. So para maskin diin man nakitabo usually sa streets, ma-approach lang ang aton victim survivor sa isa ka traffic enforcer. Binga, sir, pwede ko kapabulig, amo na. They are deputized to actually accept complaints and receive reports, no? Sa mga barangays who are here represented, sa mga kagawats kag kapitans, you should also have in the barangay level may ara matasang barangay ordinance to prevent and respond to gender-based sexual harassment. So kung wala pa, pwede gid ta ka copy siguro. I can also send to NOLITC so you can have a copy and you can study. Kag basi ma-adapt nyo or pwede nyo gid tweak based sa needs sang inyo barangays. Kay para may ara na taya sang aton nga barangay ordinance. Okay, may ara man ta ASH referral network. Actually, ang GAD focal point system ka province very active gini sila, no? And may ara man ta dapat training. I think you naka-undergo na ni training ang iban ta nga mga barangay officials, no? Kag mga VAUC desk officers sa Safe Spaces Act. Kag-ari, siguro review na lang para sa iban or base first time yun ni mabatian. But our officers, our officials should know about this act. Okay, I think this is for the Safe Spaces Act Ordinance of Negros. I'd like to share what we did sa sa Bacolod nga wala siya sa province. So ang gindugang lang namon is so naka-follow pa man ta or medyo info overload. Dali lang. Sige. Let me just share this. Then, recently, we passed this end of February, no? So, the Bawal Bastos Ordinance of Bacolod City has the same some definition of terms for ordinance ng province, but we just added. So, I'll just go through this, no? Na-discuss ko na din kagina, the same lang definition of terms ta. But, I would like to add lang ang penalties. Nag-add kami sang penalties for educational institutions and training institutions. Kaya actually, sa national law, kag sa provincial nga ordinance, ang gin-define lang nga pwede, nag-expand lang sang definition sang harassment sa employers and educational institutions, kag training institutions, but wala kita naghatag sang penalties. Amo ni siya actually ang recommendations ng PCW or ang Philippine Commission on Women na kung mapasar ta Safe Spaces Ordinance, tangan ta sang additional nga laws or penalties on educational institutions and training institutions. Sorry, ayan. Let me just forward this. Okay, here. Okay, so like I mentioned, sa national kag sa provincial, wala ni siya, no? But in Bacolod, nag-add kami, since may cap lang ang LGU nga penalties, ang first offense mo, imprisonment of 11 to 30 days, kag fine of 5,000 pesos. May ara man ta gender sensitivity awareness to be conducted by PNP and coordination with City GAD focal point system. Ang second ta 1 month and 1 day to 6 months and a fine of 5,000. And ang third offense ta 6 months and 1 day to 1 year and a fine of 5,000. So if the perpetrator is the head of the workplace or organization or mga department heads, etc., his or her appointment shall be automatically revoked upon conviction. And again, an alien or a foreigner who commits gender-based sexual harassment in the workplace shall be subject to deportation. Ayan, so I think amo man na nang gin-add namon sa Bacolod, but again, we are encouraging the LGUs and the BLGUs to also pass your own version of Safe Spaces Act. Kay one, mandated siya sang national law kag sang provincial ordinance, and two, this is a great gift to all women and all people of diverse SOGI for Women's Month, as we are celebrating the National Women's Month this March. It is a good use also of your GAD budgets. We know each agency and each barangay, LGUs have your own GAD budget. So there you go. There you have it. So if you have any questions or insights or you want to share sa base may mga efforts na kamo daya nga gapadayon maski wala pa kamo sang ordinance, no? Red?
Thank you, Miss Demi. All right. Shall we give our expert speaker, please, a virtual round of applause? Kindly utilize your virtual reaction there to send virtual hearts or virtual clap reaction, as well as that's a very informative session, no? That we have learned more about the Safe Spaces Act or the Republic Act. Now we have to memorize this one, Republic Act 11313, or it is a Philippine law that prohibits the gender-based harassment in our community. So kudos again to our province, the first province to localize the Bawal Bastos law, and of course to the city of Bacolod as the first city in the province to localize the law in the province. All right, so we have really learned a lot from the discussion of Ms. Demi. However, if we still have any questions, clarifications, or you just want to make comments about the initiatives that you are doing in your respective LGUs and barangays and also sectors, do let us know so that we will also be aware of your initiatives in your communities. So, all right, so okay, so I am now checking our comment section, or you may also turn on your microphone. Yes. You may also raise your virtual hand, all right, if you have any questions. Sige. Let me try to ask this question to our expert speaker, Ms. Demi. Okay. Yes. Hello. Thank you for that discussion. Safe Space Act or this ordinance or this law, is it only limited to public spaces? What about violence and harassments that would occur to, let's say, private offices and other private properties? Will it also cover? Will the law also cover such offenses?
Yes, thanks, Red, no? Yes, even private institutions or even inside your homes, though we have VAUSI, if ever that's applicable also, but inside the homes, if the perpetrator is a family member or someone nga nagsulod sa inyo balay, you're still covered. Magambal tagani nga safe spaces, public and private, whether government owned, even restaurants are actually mandated to support you, like give CCTV nga hindi ka na bala pabudlayan. Usually kung pangayoon CCTV mambal pang kailangan may court order, etc. Under the Safe Spaces Act, mandated na sila to provide you with the support and help to help you with your case if ever you decide to, no? So, mga sinihan events, sa sulod sinihan, sa mga eskinita, etc. Covered gini siya. So, everywhere we can have this law, no? Kung desidido ka gid magkaso. Although not everyone, amo na gani may fear pagid, no? Not everyone ya kung matabo ni simo makaso ka dayon. So, it's good na to report siguro for file. Tapos kung nahimasmasan ka na kagusto mo pagid gyapon, go, pwede ka gid ka file. But amo man ni just a heads up to our barangays, to our LGUs, hindi tanan nga victim survivors would want to report, and that's okay. We have to understand nga ano man asang tawo, autonomy man asang tawo nga mag-decide nga okay lang ko, hindi lang guro subong or hindi gid ko gusto, it's okay. Hindi niyo sila pagpiliton nga mag-report kung hindi sila gusto. Okay. Kag hindi naman sila pagambalan nga ti bala kada ko maano kada. That's not, we have to have this supportive environment as well for our victim survivors, no?
Kag actually ang law nga ini para gini sa mga tao nga hindi kaya protektahan ng ilang kaugalingon, no, sa mga marginalized, mga vulnerable nga mga sectors and people. So hence nga may kita nga law para iprotektahan sila.
Yes. Kag actually you'll never know unless you're in that situation. For example, kita be, let's say, empowered woman, nagid kita, amo na. But when you're in that situation, di ka man kabalo kung mano ka. Ulihin mo na ma-realize nga, ay ala, do I feel violated, I feel harassed, do ulihin na bala. Kag do, for example, ma-joke-joke yung boss mo sa imo, ti ikaw hindi ka gusto mawadan obra, di ba? So, alangan man sabton mo siya dayon. So, ang imo instinct tagid ya per me ay kadlaw-kadlaw ta kado. Sige na lang, okay lang. But then you realize at the end of the day nga do ka ala, hindi gid ya do, hindi gid to ya chak to how. Pwede mo na siya ma-report. So, hindi, don't be too hard on yourself man as victim survivor. Siguro nga do ka ulihi ko na na-realize nga subong ka lang nag-report or nga amo lang ni amo na kada mo bala ano nga victim gyapon ang gina-blame when in fact ang sistema ang patriarchal society dapat hindi, not necessarily. I would like to stress nga ang mga lalaki hindi na sila ang aton kontra. Okay? Kay they are brought up man sa society nga amo ni mo to think nga amo ni sila mag-treat sa mga bayi, amo ni to assert power, kailangan mas sakit gid or whatever. Kag ang mga ano bala ng mga bal nga sitsitan mo kay para cool ka or something, amo ning gindak-an ta mo. And now we are trying to change this society, no? And we have to help each other. Hindi ni siya ang law nga ni, hindi ni siya para men hating or whatever. Kay it's not, it's for everyone. Hindi ta magambal nga mga feminist, ni ba mga kababaihan, yung mga gender advocate, kontra hindi nila mga lalaki. Hindi. We are partners for equality, no? And that's we are happy that we have men and people of diverse soji here with us as participants. Kaya kailangan tanan kanaya to make our LGU, to make our province safe. Tanan kita kay ato ni siya community.
Yes, that's right. And thank you for that additional knowledge and inputs, Miss Demi, no? So safe space, ganun siya, that's for everyone, no? Including man, Miss Demi, nga nga mga LGBTQ and the men. Yes. So we have here another question from our audience and our participants. Who has the responsibility to protect you?
Yes. So, according to the national law, asta sa barangay, BLGU, LGU, should have the responsibility to protect you. Whether or not you have the ordinance, the local ordinance or not, may national law ka na eh. So, gani, amo ni siyang isa ka debate sa sanggunian namon sa Bacolod kay Gambal sila, nga ma-local ka pa, kay may national naman, madubli na karon. But as I mentioned kagina, hindi tanan nga city parehas, hindi tanan nga munisipalidad parehas, hindi tanan nga barangay parehas. So kung may ara ka may feeling nyo mas ma-apply sa inyo, amo ni pag-localize nyo. But who has the responsibility to help us? The government should have these mechanisms in place, sanggin pasar to gani. But balan taman nga ang implementation sa mga laws dis aton sa Philippines, no? Medyo malawig-lawig gid kag kung kisa ko hindi mo pag-i-push, hindi gid madayon-dayon, but may-ari ni mga duties and responsibilities ang LGUs even the national agencies, even the heads sang educational institutions schools, trainings institutions, you all have a responsibility to protect our people, no? Kag kung ikaw victim survivor ka kag you want to report, depende man kung diin na natabo, kung diin ka mas comfortable to talk kay di ba may ara ta gani nga istorya mo di tapos isaylo ka naman sa police, isaylo ka naman sa amo ni, you're reliving the trauma, and as much as possible you want ni isa na lang. So kung pwede masugod ka da sa avowed desk officers ni sa barangay, mabulig ka sa ila. Pero amo man na we should have this environment nga supportive, hindi ka imarites ka to, nag-report ka do ikaw pang malain. So hindi na lang mag-report ang tao, di ba? So kita man may responsibility man kita as government employees to be more sensitive to these things, no?
Correct. Kaya kisabalado ka mindset man na nga kung ikaw victim ka sang sexual violence ng base man isipon mo nga ay base sala ko man to kay
Yes.
shorts ko sang lipot.
Yes,
Pero
exactly.
na siya dapat amo na ang rason nga hindi kita mag-report. Kaya hindi na aton
Yeah.
sala.
Mhm.
Okay. And we have here another question. So, Inisha, no? Who can file the case?
Okay. So the victim can file the case, but as mentioned earlier, kung sa schools, kag sa training institutions, kung ang biktima hindi siya gusto mag-file, the school still has the responsibility to do something about it. Not necessarily file a case, pero like make sure nga safe pagyapon. Kay kung ang like I said, hindi mo mapilit mo nga mag-file. So for example, nagpalapit siya sa imo sa barangay binga kap, amo ni gusto ko tani ma-report lang ko. Pero hindi ko man gusto nga i-filean gini kaso. Gusto ko lang ara on record nga may amo ni nga natabo sa akon nga si so and so amo ni ginubray sa akon. Pero not necessarily file a case, no, di ba? May amo na iya.
That's right.
Pwede ka gid ka report na taguon mong file blotter or barangay incident report kung ano man na. Ikaw as a person kag kung may naka-witness, pwede mo pwede gid ang ma-witness, pero ang last say gyapon ara sa tawo nga victim survivor. No, I say victim survivor because we have di lang na siya dapat victim mentality no. Kailangan niya ikaw yan na survive mo ni, so ako ya victim survivor gina akong tawag, no. Amo lang tong exception of the school setting nga for example ang mga police ta ang barangays ta they can ask nga ti anong gusto mo nga move. The autonomy or the decision is always with the victim survivor. Pero in the school setting, whether or not may report, whether or not may file ang case, they have to do something about it.
Exactly. That's a really good input. Thank you, Ms. Demi. We move on to our next question right here. Kag ini very relevant kit sa aton nga community these days, no? Kay tungod sa spread sang social media. Kag ang nagauso bala subong nga pitik or pictures sa mga dalalon.
Yes.
Okay? So, what is your thought on the pitik or pictures that are taken by private people, no, nga ara sila sa sagwa sa eskwelahan, they are not part of the school but they have their cameras nga mga bagsikan nga mga cameras with the lens nga naon nagatake sila pictures of random people, students,
and uploading.
And uploading o iban minors pa na no mga kids.
Actually
and
very
very
controversial gina siya, no. Nakikita ko lang sa Facebook actually in my mind hindi gina siya tani pwede, especially sa minors ta kay grabe gid ang protection laws na tani sa pictures. Iban gani mag-report ang media, di ba, gina-blur ang tsura. Pero I don't know kung diin ni naghalin ang trend ngani, but ambot kung makapalabot ani sa kung magreklamo wala ka mo mahimo kay hindi gina siya pwede. So if a person basi in good faith man niyang photographers tayan, no, and hindi wala man sila yung intention nga malain, pero kung may mag-approach sa ila nga sir or ma'am pwede lang ipa-delete akong photo, may karapatan na sila kay ila na property do intellectual property na nila sa person ila na image mo, no. Kumbaga ang mga ambassador gani, ang mga models gani, they are paid to endorse something because image na nila. Ang ato ni nga students kung namian sila nga mapicturean, fine, it's okay. Pero kung pwede tani nga malisensya anay, kailangan gid maglisensya, consent is key mo, consent is key. So pero kung na-upload na nila and nakita and then pwede man lang mastoryahan, nga i-delete, okay gid. Pero kung tig-agid yati lain na ya, pwede gid na nila actually makasuhan. Pero syempre hindi taman gusto maglabot sa dira, no? Kaya kisa hindi man sila aware nga bawal na gali. Pero syempre ignorance of the law excuses no one. But
Excuses no one. Yes.
we have to educate man in a nice way man hindi nga anon taga-iberate tagid kaya muna ng budlay man na syempre yung intention nila siguro hindi man niya to do anything bad about it, no? Yeah, but may karapatan gid ang aton kung mapicturean ka may karapatan kagid magambal nga paki-delete na lang kay hindi ko comfortable or wala kabalo si mama ko nga wala ada mo
Yes.
reveal.
Kasi hindi ka gali belong sa inang school tapos na-picturean ka sa
nga ara kada.
education. Ang school ay liable man sa mga sini, like may parents abi nga nagreklamo, no? So are they also liable for such?
Unfortunately, if they are not employed by the school, hindi wala sa labto ng school, especially kung outside man nga outside man sila gin picturean, no? Mas siguro kay because they post this on social media, pwede gid ma-contact na lang gid ang photographer or ang kung sino man ang manage ng page directly. Kaya actually ang school wala gini sila sa labton dira except na lang kung susulod sang school kag gin-hire na nila for an event or something, they can have a say or they can have na protektahan gid nila ila students. Pero kung outside di wala hindi nila man.
There,
Di sila.
Thank you for that answer, Miss Demi. No kanami gid sang ini nga info session because we become more aware sa may mga bagay gali nga abita insyakto pero gali they could violate our privacy and if we feel uncomfortable about the situation pwede gid gali kita nga mag-file sa complaint, pwede kita kareklamo.
Yeah.
Right, so very active gid ang aton nga mga participants for today. So if you have more questions na pwede gid ka mo ka-comment dira or you may raise your virtual hand. We have another question here. May ara na penalize diri sa probinsya nga nag-violate sa aton nga Safe Space Act.
As far as I know, actually I don't know. Honestly, I don't know. Okay. Not sure. I think we should ask our provincial GAD focal point. I will ask. Pero I think may ara na sa QC kagi na sila ya. May ara gid ga file na gid. Kag syempre unfortunately our justice system ta medyo malawig-lawig. Amo man ang kaka-turn off ang iban to file a case kay gasto lawig ang justice kuno dugay kag layo. But I think may ara na siguro nag-file pero wala hindi ko specifically kabalugid. Yan.
All right, yes. Thank you. Kag this afternoon kadamo gid kita sang aton nga mga officials from the barangays who attended this info session. So perhaps no nang sila makabalugid or this will be an additional information for them. Ano ang ma-recommend mo sa mga barangay officials para ma-implement ang ini nga lagi?
Okay, as I mentioned, BLGUs are mandated to have their own localized barangay ordinance. And I am happy to share this to NOLITC if you need to get a copy of a local ordinance nga pwede niya ma-tweet. So that's one thing you can do. And then if not, pwede niyo magamit ang IEC or Information Education Communication Materials ng province, may ara na sila. Kag ang national may ara man, ang PCW may ara man. Nga mapaprint tabi pwede niyo gamiton GAD budget niyo for this amo gini ang actually right use of the GAD budget, no, to print the educational materials, to have seminars sa inyo youth sa mga SK tada kung may RD SKs, Committee on Women tanga mga kagawads pwede niyo gid niya maano ang law to popularize this magwambag ka popularize pabalo ni sa tanan. Kaya for example ang kakatabo sa barangay B sa sari-sari store sa tindahan da tambay-tambay dabi mga ano ta tapos manitsit maamon na mambal ka mo yung uy nang tuto hindi na bala mayo pwede ka ginabala makasuhan or something. Like I said kagina depende gid sa tawo kung paano yan na mabaton. For example ako okay lang ko yung balan nga good morning, okay lang isakon. Pero kung kay ready hindi na yung okay siya, kag mamba siya nga do na no kuha do yung lain akong feeling towards that kag report ka sa barangay ti ano na lang. Importante gid nga obran sang barangay is awareness. Para ang inyo yung mga community members hindi magambal nga tikap wala man kuya kabalo nga amo na gali iya. At least kamo ya as official sang barangay kabalo kamo kag masaway nyo sila. hindi kailangan tanan maglabot sa kasukay kung kaya pa lang, di ba? Amugin man ang
Mhm.
ano sa barangay ta ma-mediate, tabi.
Mhm.
Rang vow yan, di na pwede ma-mediate, no? For example, kung kaya pa lang preventive, i-inform sila nga, hey, hindi na okay ang amuni. Kung pwede pa lang, hindi ta mag-amuni, kaya amuning kakabatsagan sa aton mga kabataan, kababaihan. Maski mga laki, pwede gid maharas, kaga kaharas gid sila, at least
Yeah,
tanan kabalo.
correct. Mhm.
Kailangan ng
So that's
awareness.
why, yeah, salamat gid sa government of Bacolod City and also sa province through NOLITC that we are conducting these info sessions kag mga advocacy campaigns para sa aton nga Safe Spaces Act. For the barangays or other sectors na nagapamati sa aton subong, they could also do this kind of info session, or you may also request again, Ms. Demi or kami diri sa NOLITC, pwede gid kamo no nga mag-sectoral info session kita or advocacy campaigns. So just reach out to us and we would be very much willing to conduct advocacy campaigns like this one. Ma-collaborate kita para mas damo pagid ang makabalo parte sa ini nga layi.
Yes,
And
yes.
all right. Yes, Miss Demi, are you still okay? We still have some questions here.
Sure. Kana may gani kay ga-ask gid sila. Kag may nag-ask if they can have copies. I will be giving copies of the presentation and the ordinances to NOLITC sa inyo na lang sila siguro ma-collect,
Okay.
or they have the attendance sheet naman, they can send to the email.
Yes.
So.
Yes, later, or they need to complete the online attendance also and also the online evaluation so that they could receive the certificate and copy of this presentation. We also would like to make a follow-up question no sa aton nga previous na question. Can we ask the barangay officials or representatives that are present here today kung nag-implement sila sa Safe Spaces Act sa ilang nga barangay?
Or
Can
if
you please
aware sila.
Yes,
At
or
the very
aware
least.
ka mo sa ining law? Can you make a comment in the comment section? All right?
Pwede
Give us a thumbs up or a
up.
yes. Can you comment yes if you are aware of this law or if you implement this law in your barangay? And you can also comment no if not yet or not yet.
Baan sila bilang i-identify. Hindi man.
We
will help you.
So base hindi pa kamo aware or this is your first time to hear ang ini nga awareness campaign, so you can comment there in the comment section.
Actually, kaysa kadamuon man bala sa mga laws, no? And syempre ang atong barangays, they are very overwhelmed sa mga ulobraw. Totoo, kabalo kita na kadamo gid sa ila responsibility. I'm sure kabudlay nga damo gid kada law nga i-localize mo, may ara gid duty ang barangay. But we are here to help. The LGU and the province is we are here to help you. And also the school, Bago City College, ayan. Ito kadamo sang estudyante ta.
Yes,
We are actually
exactly.
wow, 93 participants in this call.
Correct.
Thank you, everyone.
Earlier, we are reaching almost close to 100. No, may kita kagina nga 99. Again, thank you very much man sa sa Bacolod City through the Office of Councilor Celia Flor kay Ari Kadiri sa Miss Demi attending as our expert speaker. Thank you so much, Councilor Celia Flor. And we have here another question probably about here. So what will happen to schools which doesn't or which has not created their CODI or their code of conduct?
Actually, kung government schools sila, yeah, kailangan actually not even private, no. DepEd can actually mandate them or give them a reminder that they should have. If your school doesn't have, actually dapat may ara gid. Kaya hindi lang man ang code niyo dapat in place ginaya because our schools are where our students are, our kids are, no. Dira ginamold gid sila and anything can happen dira sa aton mga schools, and it's important for the school administrators to have this mechanism to protect our students and also themselves. Like I said kagina, kung ang anti-sexual harassment sa 1995 abita ang teacher lang makaharas sa estudyante, in reality ang estudyante makaharas teacher, makaharas staff. you have these mechanisms in place as preventive, wala pa may natabo, kailangan may amo na kamo ni. So, I think our DepEd and kung mga universities ta ano gani na may ara sila, I don't know if NOPSEA and what's the other one ang sa ano, they should also have this. So base ang GAD focal ta, I think may ara man mga representatives ang aton schools and training institutions, kailangan may refresher and reminder na hey, pila na ni kaya years, I think ang ordinance, you should have this established already.
Yes. Yeah, by the way, Miss Demi, we also have here with us ating nga participants, private TVIs or technical vocational institutions joining with us. Mga private schools na sila, private vocational schools. And we actually have one participant here from New Zealand.
Oh, wow.
So,
Hello. Grabe, very
Oh.
international. So if there are students here and organizations, you can actually give a copy of the ordinance to your admin and tell them na, you know, I think they would welcome the suggestion man na nag-attend ko bala sa amuniho and dapat gali may amutan ni na collaboration between the community and the administrators man is good nga mambal sila nga okay nang gusto gini siguro sang amon community kay gin lobby git magambal ka lobby do gin ano mo gid balagin patigayon mo gid. So as gender advocates, as advocates of gender equality and women's empowerment, pwede nyo gid niya maano nga may kumbaga may legal basis ka sang pag-lobby mo, pag-advocate mo para sa sinino.
Yes, ng imong kausa. So again, no, if you want us to do the information campaign in your respective campuses, o gusto nyo man mag-ano kita sa inyong schools and your campuses, reach out to us. You can message us in NOLITC or and we will also invite Miss Demi if she's available na to conduct the same advocacy campaign sa inyong man nga community or sa inyong schools.
Yes. Actually, I see here sa participants, may Cadiz City to no? Our provincial kick-off happened in Cadiz last March 1. And dito ko lang na-find out na majority of your city council members are women. So I think pwede nyo gini malabi sa ilan. It's gonna be a very historic legislation if a majority women council can pass a safe spaces ordinance. So I'm very happy to share with you Bacolod City's version if you want, no? Ay kita man ni nag in discussion with our constituents man ini. So I will be very happy to share this with you if you want.
Oh, see, that's really nice. And we also have here, Ms. Demi, participants or members from our provincial OFW. So they are also in attendance. Thank you very much kay Adigid ka mo diri subong hapon. This is such a very nice and info session about Safe Spaces Act because this is a very new law and our province and the city of Bacolod are one of the first province and city to really localize and also added onto the law.
Yes.
Hindi lang kita nag-localize but we also add something to the law as well para mas fit siya sa aton nga locality.
Yes, exactly.
And
we have to stress gid no because this is common misconception gid siya, common gid siya nga abi sa mga tawo nga para lang gid siya sa mga babayi. And no, this is not the case. It is for everyone. And amo ning kailangan nyo i-stress as leaders of your community, as leaders of your barangays and agencies nga hindi lang ni siya para sa mga babae. Ayan. Ano gali ng Barangay Pulupandan will tackle this law. Wow.
Wow,
That's
nice.
great.
Ma'am Marina Amasio, Barangay Pag-ayon, Pulupandan.
Yan, we have to recognize man ang mga barangays nga ga-take gidya step towards this the fulfillment of this ordinance and the implementation. Yay.
Okay, kudos to Barangay Pag-ayon, Pulupandan. They will lobby the law to their LGU, the Pulupandan LGU.
Lapit na ko na sa Pulupandan soon. I will be in Dulid. I will be a resident of Valladolid soon. So mapitapit ko dagoro sa Pulupandan.
Yes, thank you, ma'am. More power. Wow, salamat gid. And also, if you also have adopted or lobbied, you also want to lobby the law in your respective barangays and communities, do let us know kung may mga initiatives ka mga amo sini sa inyong barangays. Right, Ms. Demi, we would like to remind our participants to kindly stay, be on standby and keep on listening to this info session, because later on we still have to give the link to the evaluation, as well as we will be doing a virtual photo opportunity. However, at this juncture, we would like, if you don't have any more questions, or if you have questions, maybe we could pass or send your questions additional clarifications to Miss Demi later on, and Miss Demi could answer that one through email. So kindly let us know of your email address as well, or your contact number. All right, at this juncture, we would like to express our most profound appreciation to our incredibly cognizant and very enthusiastic expert speaker, Ms. Demi Castro. And as an expression of our appreciation, we would like to present this certificate of appreciation. The province of Negros Occidental, through Negros Occidental Language and Information Technology Center, presents this certificate of appreciation to Ms. Demi Castro for imparting her valuable insights and expertise extended as our resource speaker in the top NOLITC GAD webinar on Safe Spaces Act, given this 10th day of March 2023 via Zoom teleconferencing platform. So signed by our Vocational School Administrator, Dr. Maria Cristina Arbicido. Let us give Ms. Demi a virtual round of applause.
Thank you so much, Doc Tin, and the whole NOLITC team for always having me. So happy to be here with your family. Always good. Thanks for the
Yes,
invitation.
our pleasure, Ms. Demi. I also would like to emphasize how you can get a certificate for attending this webinar online. Please provide us your evaluation through the link provided in the description box, or you can also scan the QR code that is flashed on your screen. Reminding everybody that your email address should be typed in correctly. Be careful with the spelling of your email address so it won't bounce back. The evaluation will be open only until 6 o'clock this evening. Or we can also share it right now in the comment section. So kindly do your online attendance and your online evaluation. So there you go. Okay, sharing the link in the comment section now. So kindly do your evaluation. So there you have it, ladies and gentlemen. Madamo gid nga salamat sa inyong presensya sa inyong information session. This concludes the NOLITC Gender and Development webinar on Safe Spaces Act. We would like to request everybody to kindly turn on your videos as we will have our photo opportunity. This is such a milestone, no, sa aton, that we were able to conduct the online forum or the online info session on Safe Spaces Act. So yes, kindly turn on your videos or your camera so that we could take a virtual photo opportunity.
Thank you very much, Demi. And thank you to Board Member Pipilio and our barangay officials.
Thank you, Doc Tina. All right.
To the
So
schools and to the students, thank you. And to the trainers, thank you for joining.
Sobra, giniguro 100, kaya ang iban, isa ka device, damo sila eh.
Yes.
Thank you everyone, ka-happy.
Yeah, kindly don't forget your attendance and your evaluation, kay automatic na masending inyong certificates.
Yes. We will be sending the certificate and a copy of the presentation sa inyong email address nga i-indicate. So again, turn on your cameras and your videos. All right. Wow! Hello there sa tanan. Maayong hapon. Sige, I am going to take the virtual photo opportunities at your first frame. So kindly look at the camera. And in my count, 3, 2, 1. Okay, there you go. I got it. So let me proceed to the second frame. So kindly keep on smiling and keep turning on your camera. 3, okay, 3, sorry, kay galod siya. 3, 2, 1. Okay, I got it. And let me proceed to the third frame as well. And at this time, can we also do the avance negligence sign like so? Okay, let's do avance negrense. Thank you. All right. 3, 2, 1, avance. Okay, salamat. And second frame, please. Keep on doing the avance negrense sign. All right. 3, 2, 1. Salamat. I got it. And again, so kindly do the online evaluation. So that's it, everybody. Please stay safe, good, keep smiling, and be strong. This is Red again, your host. NOLITC Inspire, NOLITC Cares, Avance Negrense. Salamat.